So my question is, your paper is named as Ethics, Integrity and Aptitude. But in the very first line of your syllabus, they say that there will be questions which test your attitude. Why? Why they are not saying that will test your ethics, integrity?
Ethics are mental constructs, sir. Through attitude, they check our ethics.
So attitudes are also mental constructs. Good, well tried.
So our attitude decides the way we behave. That is how our ethics come from.
Not exactly, but tried, well tried. Any other one?
So remaining are like remaining are some like some version of values, whereas attitude is the values associated to us as the probable servants.
Okay, very good. Like near, I'll tell the answer. Dear students, here the thing is that your ethics, your values, your morals are the general determinants, the general determinants of your behavior. And your attitude is specific determinant, or it determines your attitude to a greater extent. By just knowing the ethical standards, by just knowing what is important to you, we cannot determine your behavior. In attitude, what is that it's happening? These ethics and values are attached to some object. So this is one step ahead. So we'll be concentrating on the attitude. Is this clear to you? Ethics set up simply standards, values, simply those things which are important, your preferences. When you attach those things to some object, it creates attitude. Right? In that way, by just knowing what are the ethical standards or values, we cannot predict the behavior to a greater extent. Your behavior can be predicted to a greater extent by attitude. That is the reason they have used the term, like we will be testing the students' attitude. One of the most important thing, right? Okay. So attitudes are not our emotions, not our behaviors, not our opinions. When your opinions or thoughts are attached with emotions and behavior, then we can say that they are your attitude. Otherwise, they are just your opinions. Right? Attitude consists of thought, emotion, behavior. Thought means cognition, emotion means feeling, all these things, affect part, behavior component. Whenever you have an attitude, the most important thing is you are making a decision. You are making an evaluative decision. You are liking, disliking, approving, disapproving, favoring, disfavoring towards a particular object, issue, person, concept, anything. If you are not evaluating, then you won't have attitude, right? So if you can evaluate anything with some degree of favor or disfavor along the dimension of favorability, then you have got attitude. So you can have attitudes on anything which you can evaluate. It may be a concept, object, self, individual, policy, anything, right? What is the content of attitude? So very important, content of attitude is A, B, C. A, you should know what is the meaning. B, you should know what is the meaning. C, you should know what is the meaning. So what is, if they ask, write about the content of attitude, what do you have to write? according to multi-component model of attitude given by egg and chicken, attitude consists of three things. That is A, B, C. To put this in a word, according to this model, attitude is the summary evaluation of ABC components, but don't write ABC components. So this figure is very important. You have to mention it and just remember this, Agley and Chaikin. So affect means feeling or emotions associated with the attitudinal object. Behavior means tendency to act or past behaviors. Cognition means behavior, thought, and attributes. So I have explained why it is also sometimes refers to as CAB. CAB means so they say that sometimes because of your cognition, you'll get affect. Because of your affect, it leads to behavior. In fact, it is not true generally. It has been disproved. In some cases, is it true? Not always. We'll discuss those. This was the example we were discussing. In this case, with respect to green environment, our view towards green environment is positive. That is cognition. You feel very happy when you see greenery. That is affect, feeling part. You actively participated. That is behavior. Now the question is, can we predict one component based on the another? The answer is not. Answer is no. Because it is quite possible that cognitive part, that is Green India, you have got a positive attitude towards Green India and it is very, very strong. But the affect and behavior may be relatively weak. Cognition may be very high and also affect also very high. Like you know that trees are very, very important. Cognition, thought, all these things. You know that trees are very, very important. You love trees, but behavior may not be associated. You may not be planting the trees. Similarly, if an individual is religious, we can't say that he will be going to temple always, masjid or church. So one cannot predict the other always, but there is a correlation which we'll discuss afterwards. Right? Okay. This is the last gist of the things which we have discussed. Here, one thing what you have to internalize is attitudes are mental constructs. In this regard, these are mental predispositions. Construct means those things which cannot be seen directly and which cannot be measured directly, right? Constructs are those things, whether it is in physics or anywhere. Constructs are those things which cannot be directly seen or measured. Here, attitudes are constructs and also they are predispositions. Means what is this predispositions? What is the general meaning? You can like get a clue from the general meaning also. Means that already in your brain, you have got some predisposition. Mean to say that, say for example, think it over. Number one, village girl or village boy. You have already got some attitude. Other way, in the same thing. Rich girl, poor girl. So there is a predisposition, mental predisposition, isn't it? So your like how you interact with a rich girl. Say for example, a girl comes in a Benz car, like very posh, modern dress. How will you react? How will you Like you have got already some mental predispositions. A boy or a girl from metro, or a boy or a girl from agency area or tribal area, don't you feel you already have some mental predispositions? That is your attitude. Means attitude is not that which you are getting by trial and error method. Attitude is a mental predisposition. Say for example, another example, there are two individuals. One is a saint or a father or a mullah, like a person who worship God. So this is one individual saint, a, like father, church father, or some hazrat. Another individual, a long fat individual standing in the road with many gold jewels, smoking. So don't you think you have got some attitude already? This saint may be the worst person in this world, but you have got a different attitude, that he will be like humble, he will be pious. On the other hand, the reverse of that. Clear? So attitude are mental predispositions. So what is the utility of this attitude?
Hello. Hello, sir.
Am I audible and visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, some problem for that. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are the mental predispositions. It's not that which you get by trial and error method. So think it over. What is the use of attitude? Are they saving your energy? Or like by this, are you able to judge the things? Is it helping in your decision making? Yes. See, whenever you see some person, say for example, a village boy, your interaction will be different. Why? You are already having some attitude. It is saving your energy. Otherwise, every time you see one village person, you have to come up with like what he wants, what he doesn't want, all these things. So we'll discuss this when we discuss about the functions of attitude. Functions of the attitude refers to the needs fulfilled by the attitude. So what do you understand by the functions of the attitude? Functions of the attitude refers to the needs fulfilled by the attitude. This is our next topic. We'll discuss that. Right? Next, along with the components, ABC, we also have what is known as features of attitude. In addition to ABC, we also have some things what is known as properties or features. So we have got something known as properties or features. What are these features? These are number one, valence. Number two, extremeness. Number three, simplicity and complexity, centrality. Well, first I'll give the gist of the things. Afterwards, like I'll explain the things in greater detail. Valence of an attitude. Valence of an attitude says whether the attitude is positive, negative, or neutral. So, valence of an attitude says whether the attitude is positive, negative, or neutral. Extremeness of an attitude says how much positive and how much negative. Simplicity and complexity. Here you have to see attitude as a family. Say, for example, in simple attitude, there will be only few or one attitudes present. I'll give the example for this. In complex, there will be more attitude. In centrality, it is that attitude which plays a major role, a central role. Let me explain these things in a greater detail. Please concentrate. Valence. Valence of an attitude tells us whether an attitude is positive or negative or neutral towards an attitudinal object. Clear? Say, for example, a boy, a girl, BJP, Congress Party, a computer. Some may have negative attitude towards computer. Some may have negative attitude towards mobile. They think that this is spoiling our generation. So valence says whether it is positive or negative. Let me take the example. In case of, say for example, there is a book you are about to review, or you have just like boarded a Ola cab, and afterwards somehow you reach the destiny and you have got down. They ask for you to review. So here they will be having 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you give 1 star, what does this mean? Negative. When you give 2, that is also negative. When you give 3, that means it is neutral. When you give 4 stars, means it is good. When you give 5, it is very good. Right? Here, dear students, so valence of an attitude when you give 1, 2, 3 is negative. Valence of an attitude when you give 4 and 5, it is positive. 3, it is neutral. Right? Is it clear? In this, extremeness. When we speak of extremeness, is this clear to you? Like 1, 2, 3 is negative, 4, 5 is positive, 3 is neutral. But it's the same thing, extension of the thing, extremeness. 5 is extreme, that's very good. At the same time, on the other hand, 1 is also extreme. Right? In this, which is the least extreme? This is your 3. So 1 and 5 are more extreme. 2 and 4 is less extreme. 3 is least extreme. Right? Is it clear to you? So valence refers to whether it is positive, negative, or neutral. Extremeness refers to how negative, how much negative, extremeness of the things. The extremeness of an attitude indicates how positive and negative an attitude is. Valence, negative or positive, extremeness, how much, how positive or negative. So here 1 and 5 are extreme, not very extreme 1 and 5. 2 and 4 less extreme. 3 neutral, least extreme. Right? Then next is with respect, this is a very simple concept. Simplicity or complexity is just general common sense, but we have to concentrate. Simplicity or complexity here, when we speak about that, you have to think one concept, that is how many attitudes are there? How many attitudes are there? Let me make you think and let me make you come up with a concept with one example. Your attitude towards Modi, Modi ji, your attitude towards Jagan, your attitude towards Yediyurappa, on the other hand. Your attitude towards health and well-being. Health and well-being. Dear students, your attitude towards an individual, your attitude towards, say, for example, Indian cricket team, it is simple. There are not too many attitudes involved. On the other hand, your attitude towards health and well-being are made up of complex, many attitudes. Your attitude towards health and well-being is having many other attitudes, like your attitude towards health, your attitude towards well-being, your attitude towards the physical health, your attitude towards mental health, your attitude towards the food, what you eat. So it is complex. Let me elaborate and make the things still simple. Simplicity or complexity, or you can say multiplicity. This feature refers to how many attitudes are there within a broad attitude. So this refers to simplicity or complexity. It is not referring to negative, positive, or extreme. It is referring to how many attitudes are there in within a broad attitude. Simple attitude. An attitude system is said to be simple if it contains only one or few attitudes. Isn't it simple? If the attitude consists of one or few attitudes, then we say that it is simple attitude. The attitude towards a particular person is likely to consist of mainly one attitude. Think it over. Think your attitude towards an individual. It will be like having only one attitude, positive or negative. Is there any three, four varieties added there? Your attitude towards Indian cricket team, simple attitude. On the other hand, with respect to complex attitude, an attitude system is said to be complex if it is made up of many attitudes. Right? If it is made up of many attitudes, then we say that this is complex attitude. Attitude towards health and well-being. Example for complex attitude is very important because there are very, very few examples which are generally quoted and very important that you mention the same, because don't try your own examples, you may end up wrong. Like you can try, but only after certain maturity, certain mastery. Word peace, see, this may include many other dimensions, right? Here you have to think attitude as a family consisting of several member attitudes. family consisting of several attitudes. Here, simple attitude means you can say this as a nuclear family, one of you. Complex attitude means you can think that as a joint family. Several member attitudes are associated. The example we took, health and well-being. Attitude towards health and well-being. Several member attitudes such as one's concept about physical health, number one, one's concept about mental health, one's concept about happiness, one's concept about well-being. So it's a complex attitude when it comes to health and well-being. Some things that say, for example, youth. For youth, health and well-being means what they think. They think more of physical. They give more importance to physical one. They want to eat more non-veg. They want to eat more biryani. They want to eat 10 eggs per day. They want, and for them, health and well-being means physical, number one, and they give more importance for physical things. So they eat more, and also they'll go to gym. They go to aerobics. Many things are associated, right? So your attitude towards health and well-being is not simple. There are many components in that. Youth, they give more importance to physical aspect concept. So for them, health means going to gym, lifting, eating biryani. Say for example, there is an old person. For him, he feels that yoga, meditation, and he joined in some laughing clubs because he's giving more importance or central place is occupied by happiness. This central position, what is occupying, this is known as centrality. Here, yes, students, your valence and extremeness are related. In the same way, simplicity and complexity are related to your centrality. Right? So, simplicity or complexity, multiple member attitudes within an attitude system should not be confused with the three components ABC described earlier. Each member attitude that belongs to an attitude system also consists of ABC. Right? What does this mean? We took the example of health and well-being. In that, we had physical, we had got mental, happiness, well-being. So these are the components, members of the attitudes of health and well-being. This you should not confuse with A, B, C. Once again, here your attitude also has A, B, C. Mental things also have A, B, C. So components are different, simplicity or complexity are different. Multiple member attitudes within the attitude system should not be confused with the three components. Components means A, B, C, D described. Each member attitude, these member attitudes that belong to an attitudinal system also consist of ABC. Right? It's not that difficult. It's simple like common sense. Centrality means the role played by a particular attitude. Say for example, health and well-being. In that, your attitude towards physics, if you are youth, is the central attitude because it is influencing you more. Then it is central attitude. Mental attitude is peripheral attitude. The role played by an attitude in the attitudinal system refers to centrality. Centrality refers to the role of a particular attitude in the attitudinal system. An attitude with greater centrality would influence the other attitude in the system much more than the non-central or the peripheral attitude would. Right? So, in an attitude which is very strong, it influences other things. On the other hand, peripheral attitude won't. I have given the example for this. So, dear students, these are the features. Is it very easy? No need for you to memorize, mug up on this thing. Just revise all the things what I have explained you. Valence refers to positive, negative, or neutral. Extremeness refers to how positive and how negative. So in extremeness, 1 and 5 are extreme. 2 and 4 are less extreme. More extreme, less extreme. 3 is least. Complexity means here you have to think attitude as attitudinal system consisting of many member attitude. If it consists one or few, it is simple. If it consists more, it is complex. Right? Centrality refers to the role played by a particular attitude. If an attitude in, say for example, in this, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. If this one attitude is influencing more, then it is the central attitude. Say for example, this 4 attitude is not influencing much, it is a peripheral attitude. This we already discussed, right? Now we are entering into one more aspect, that is with respect to structure. In your syllabus, they have to say, as I told you, see this weekend, by this weekend, you have to memorize the whole syllabus, right? You have to memorize the whole syllabus. Really, like this is one of the difficult thing. In fact, not for memorizing, for the teacher. If you come to know all the topics in the syllabus, you will ask me, sir, this is not there, this is not there in your teaching. By the time students knows that what is there in the syllabus, we can say the topic is covered. This is the last class, ethics is complete. So, like I may have some shortcomings, but I'll say what are those. But I want to say that see that all the topics in the syllabus are covered, and also you should memorize them. Right? In your syllabus, they have content, structure, and features of attitude. Components, structure, and features they have given. Next is even with respect to structure. Okay, what do you understand by structure? So you use structure for many things. What are the things? Say for example, a boy if he is going to gym on a regular basis, we say that this boy's physique, this boy's structure is good. So what does this mean? Structure means, why do you say that this structure is good? Mean here parts of the body, they are arranged in a proper way. Say for example, other example, structure of soil structure. What does this mean? It refers to the particle size and also the vacuum, the air which is present. Say for example, clay soil. So clay soil structure is different. The particle size is very, very small. That is the reason with little rain will be having sticky thing. On the other hand, sand, the particles are very, very big. It is more porous. So, the student, structure refers to how positive and negative evaluations are arranged. So, for you, for the attitude, what are the parts? How you get the attitude? By evaluating. Please internalize this one. Just by going through the words, you won't get anything. You have to imagine the things. See here, when you say that attitude, you are evaluating. When you say that you have got an attitude, what you are doing? You are evaluating. It may be positive or negative or neutral, right? How these positive and negative evaluations are organized within and among themselves in your brain, that refers to attitude. I'll make the things easy to you. Have to imagine the things. Structure of an attitude refers to how positive and negative evaluations are organized within and among the ABC components of the attitude. Right? Structure refers to how the components are arranged. Please utilize this one. You will get a broader horizon as we proceed. So, structure of attitude refers to, see here, very important. These are mental constructs. So, in your mind, how you are arranging negative and positive evaluation. This is a very standard definition, just very easy to remember also. Refers to how positive and negative evaluations are organized within and among ABC components. This is the structure of attitude. Then let me elaborate this thing. Structure of attitude. Here, one-dimensional view. What is this one-dimensional view? Here, in your mind, when you are arranging, say for example, this is neutral point. When you are arranging negative and positive evaluations on a one dimension, then we say that this is one dimensional. Say for example, then what happens if this is one dimensional? If you are locating something, say for example, -3, this negative attitude. What does this mean? This is only one dimension. Negative. Just you think negative. If negative in one dimension, there is only one possibility, whether you have positive or negative. Presence of negative attitude means that you don't have positive attitude, right? Structure of attitude here, this is one perspective. That is one dimensional perspective of attitude. There is another two-dimensional perspective. Here, what is this? See, this is a two-dimensional thing. See, this is with respect to positive. Think that this is with respect to negative, or either way, positive, negative. When you look at one point here, means you will be having both positive and negative evaluations at the same time. Here, say for example, this is positive, this is negative. You can have both positive and negative evaluation at the same time. Say one more here. So here you can say that more of negative, less of positive. Let me explain this again. See, this is one dimension. Negative, neutral point. This is, see here, if this you are locating here in one dimensional attitude, presence of negative evaluation means there is no positive evaluation. But on the other hand, say for example, this one will be having both negative and also positive. Let me elaborate this. One dimensional perspective of attitude. Positive and negative elements are stored along a single dimension. The positive inhibits the occurrence of negative. Why? A simple reason. It is one dimensional. Since it is one dimensional, since you are showing negative and positive evaluations on one dimension, it means that it can be only minus or only positive. Means presence of positive inhibits the occurrence of negative and the vice versa. Isn't it? Say for example, if I have attitude here, positive, means I cannot have negative. On the other hand, you have got two-dimensional perspective attitude. It persists that positive and negative elements are stored along two separate dimensions. Right? Here, very important, in first one, both positive and negative evaluations are in one dimension, in same dimension. This is one dimension. Here, this is two dimension. Right? If you add one more, this becomes three. Some more don't bother about that. Three is not there. It's just two what we have. So, two-dimensional perspective attitude perceives that positive and negative elements are stored along two separate dimensions. See, it's just a hypothesis, it's just a thesis, it's just a model. As I told you, your VEMA, values, ethics, morals, and attitude are mental concepts, mental predispositions with respect to attitude. So, how these are there? This mental construct, we are talking about that. Some say that your evaluations are in one dimension. Means if you have positive, you won't be having negative. Say for example, your attitude towards Modi ji can be positive or negative. Can you have both positive and negative? According to one dimension, no. According to one dimension, you can have only one. But according to two-dimensional, positive and negative evaluations are stored in two separate dimensions. People can possess any combination of positive and negativity in their attitude. Right? Any doubt with respect to this thing? Simple. Then, which perspective is superior? Think it over. Just 1 minute. Which perspective is superior and why? Dear students, here one important thing which you have to internalize is this neutral point. Say, for example, in one dimensional view, think that I have got equal negative, and equal positive. So, negative and equal positive. Then my attitude will be neutral, isn't it? That is one case. And also, there is another case where I don't have, like, I have only neutral attitude, I'm indifferent. Means in this case, in the first case, I have both liking and disliking. Here, you don't have anything. This cannot be conspicuously made through in one dimension. So, what is the meaning? Say, for example, here if we take two dimensional, see this you can say these two are equal. So, this point, neutral point, and there is another where positive and negative are zero. See this point, positive and negative are 0, 0. So, neutral. On the other hand, here you have got x and these things. Say, for example, 5, 5. This is also neutral. So this is one of the advantages of two-dimensional. Is it clear? Let me explain you again. Which perspective is superior? One-dimensional perspective is widely used perspective because it is comparatively simple. It is comparatively simple. Say, for example, when you are rating a book, you are rating on a linear thing, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you are rating a cab, you are rating linear because it is simple. On the other hand, two-dimensional have many advantages. That is, distinguishing between no interest or equal likes and dislikes. So, I have explained this in two-dimensional. You can distinguish between no interest and equally likes and dislikes. Say, this is a thing. This is negative. This is positive. This is 0. So, this point is no interest. 1. On the other hand, equal. 5, 5. So, this is also neutral. This we can distinguish here. We can distinguish between no interest and equal likes and dislikes. But on the other hand, when you take the linear one dimensional, always it will be here. You cannot distinguish between no interest and equal likes and dislikes. Yeah, in two dimensional, you cannot, in one dimension, you cannot distinguish between no interest and equal likes and dislikes. The other thing with respect to the do these things is extent of likes and dislikes. How is this extent of likes and dislikes? Along with ambivalent attitude. I'll explain this two things. An individual both likes and dislikes an attitudinal object. Extent of likes and dislikes, say for example, here in this, okay, in this case, say for example, extent of likes and dislikes. See here. See here. Here, say for example, this is 6. Negative is 6. Positive is, in fact, say for example, positive is 3. 3 is positive. Dislike, and this is like. So it comes here. We'll come to know what extent likes and dislikes. But when it comes to linear one-dimensional one, if this is the neutral point, if negative is -6 and positive is 3, then we can say that it comes here -3. 6 plus 3 is equal to -3. Right? So here, first and foremost, neutral point. Second, the extent of likes and dislikes can be known in two-dimensional. And also, ambivalence attitude. An individual both likes and dislikes an attitudinal object. What is ambivalent attitude? Attitude when an individual both likes and dislikes. This ambivalent attitude leads to response polarization. What is that response polarization? People who are highly ambivalent towards an object are more strongly influenced by features of the environment. More ambivalent. Say, for example, this is the case. Negative, this is positive. There is one individual, say, this example, non-vegetarian. I like non-vegetarian and I also don't like non-vegetarian. So for those who are only vegetarian, I like bhajis, I like samosas, I like Mysore bhaji more because it tastes very good. On the other hand, I don't like because it is containing a lot of oil. So I'm thinking like I want to get married in 1 or 2 like year, months or something. So I don't want to put up my weight. I'm going to gym, I'm going to aerobics. So in this case, you are having both positive things and negative things you like and also at the same time you dislike. That is, you are having ambivalent attitude. In this situation, your things will be more influenced by the environment. What does this mean? Say, for example, since I want to put up, like, I want to reduce my weight, I'm just not liking non-vegetarian, or I'm not liking veggies. But someone offered, or I got free, or in some situation, or in some environment, I started drinking. Another example, like drinking alcohol. I like drinking alcohol and I don't like drinking alcohol. But when all my friends come together, all my like 20 years back friends, when they came together, or all my like many like friends or someone, when they came together or when they asked, I started drinking. So here, in case of two-dimensional thing, you can make out response polarization. This is of great interest to the people because they can sell whatever they want. Because if your attitude is more ambivalent, it will be more influenced by the environment, right? So these are the advantages and disadvantages of these two dimensions. So very, very simple. Just draw one line here to that, right? Like any doubt with respect to the things we discussed with respect to the structure. Okay. Next is functions. My question is, do our attitude perform any function? If they perform, what are the functions they perform? I gave you a simple example to you. There is a saint, there is a gunda. So, your attitude, how is it helping? Because your interaction with these two people is dependent on your attitude. It is saving your time. It is appraising the object. It is appraising the individual. Your attitude, if it is positive, say for example, it may not be always. Say for example, I am a like rogue element. I got positive attitude towards this, so I may join this gunda. On the other hand, like I'm a saintly and I'm a humble person, so I may join this saint. So here, attitude do perform some function. The needs satisfied. The needs satisfied by the attitude. The needs satisfied by the attitude. To be specific, the psychological needs satisfied by an attitude, we can call that as their function. In this regard, one, attitude classifies objects in the environment for the purpose of action. So I have given the example. Attitude classify the object. Rich girl, rich boy, village girl, village boy. So like I'll come to those points afterwards. We have got a thing like all farmers are innocent, all village people are innocent. It may not be always like has portrayed in many films. Rich means arrogant, poor means polite, humble. So by this, your attitude is classifying the things, classifying the objects. By classifying the object, it is saving your energy. It is making the decisions very easy. It is making the interaction with you and the environment very, very easy. Attitude simplify your decision making because you're classifying the things already. Say, for example, if there is something like this, okay, think that this is snake. So you already have got some attitude. It simplify your decision making. So you will avoid that. Otherwise, what would have done? You would have played with that. Attitudes are energy saving devices, isn't it? Otherwise, every time you come across a person, you have to do trial and error just by seeing one side. Make your decision making, saying the energy, classifying the things. So attitudes are making the things very fast. They are making your judgments very fast, saving your energy, decision making, and they are helping in classifying the objects. Right? So we can say that the needs fulfilled by an attitude is the function of an attitude. What do you understand by the function of attitude? Function of attitude refers to the psychological needs fulfilled by an attitude. Either of the one is correct. So if you just say the needs fulfilled by an attitude, in some book they have used psychological needs fulfilled by an attitude. So if you write psychological need fulfilled by an attitude, it will be like, according to me, it will be more appropriate because attitudes are psychological tendencies already. So these are psychological needs fulfilled. Models of attitude function. So here in attitude chapter, you have to remember, as I told you, one name with respect to the definition, multi-component model, Eggley and Chaiter. Then other is with respect to your Smith and Cates. So if you remember the names, well and good. No question have come with respect to the model of attitude. So these are the people. Smith et al. Smith et al. Means Smith and Co. group or Cates. You can, how you can remember, like Will Smith, your English actor. Cates, like short form, they always call Katrina Cates. So your Cates and Smith, they have given two more. What are these? In this, with respect to function, according to Smith, objects have the attitudes have the function of object appraisal. They appraise the object. Employee, employee appraisal. What does this mean? Employee appraisal means it brings the positive and negative of an employee, right? So if it is positive, then you will keep in the office. If it is negative, you remove him from the office. Similarly, attitudes have appraising function. They appraise an object, means they summarize the positive and negative attributes of the objects. They approach if it is beneficial and avoid if it is harmful. Object appraisal. So what is the other one? In general, we'll be having objects around in our environment. The second will be with respect to the society. Here, social adjustment. We identify with the people we like, disassociate the people we don't like. This is true. Why do you? Many of the things, like it was found in fact true. Many people in the coastal Andhra, they like thumbs up. Why? Because they're Chiranjeevi, they're Mahesh Babu, they're drinking. You are identifying with the people you like. Social adjustment and disassociating with the people you don't like. This is with respect to object and this is with respect to people. Object appraisal, social adjustment. The other function is with respect to externalization. Define the self with internal conflict. Define the self with internal conflict. What is this? What does this mean? Say, for example, these are grapes. This is a grape tree, you think like that. Okay, grapes. Here comes a fox. So your fox tries, it jumps again. But the fox cannot touch the grape. So there are options left for fox. One is, I am very incapable. I couldn't get the grapes. Second option is, These grapes are very sour. Not even like insects touch. That is the reason they are here. Otherwise, all these grapes would have been taken by someone. By saying that like that, you are preventing the internal conflict which is happening. The example given in the book is bad golfer. I tried to put the ball in the hole in golf. Somehow it's not possible. I'm a very, very bad golfer. So I started disliking the thing. What is that golf? Lazy game. You have to go for something like very active, athletic, basketball, rugby. Is golf a game? So I started disliking. Because of that, you have somehow safeguarded yourself. You have defended the self against the internal conflict. Think it over. You are liking the golf, but you are a very bad golfer. What happens for that? Like point in context with respect to, say, for example, we have finished all my attempts. Despite attending 3 interviews, I did not get anything. So now, say for example, in my own state, I have like minimum 5 to 6 like friends of mine who are in IPS. Means almost on every alternative day, their news will be there. In fact, like your Rohini Sinduri, all we were studying there in Hyderabad together. Many like that. Whenever I see that, if I think, oh, I did not get IAS, see the glamour there. See if I put something, no, not even one individual, two individual, not even my students are liking. The same individual who was beside me, who read my notes, he's an IPS officer. He has got a following in million. So if I think like that, it will be very, very bad to me. You think in another way. See, in this COVID situation, this IAS, IPS officer, they are made to work 15 hours. They don't have time for family. See me, I am someone in the warmth of the house. I'm sitting in a place and I'm teaching sufficient. And legally, I'm getting very like good money, more money than them legally. I'm very carefully using the term. If I think like that, that is externalization. Means it is defending the self against the internal conflict. In fact, this happened to me. I was very like upset. Even after I got an extra attempt, I couldn't clear. Many reasons. Because the extra attempt I got after 2 3 years gap. By the time I was there somewhere, somehow I came, wrote, all these things happened. I got highest marks in ethics. That is the reason I am teaching this. But here, when you think that whatever has happened is very bad, very annoying, it's a very, very bad thing. In fact, at that time, I came across Roman science. I felt like very moral boost. Oh, all are trying for IAS. So this person who has like who already got IAS, he has left and he started teaching. Means I am also doing the same. I will also do the same. So I somehow I compensated. Means I externalized. Right? So externalization means defending the self against the internal conflict. In the same way, our cats has given 4. Please concentrate here. I'll be asking similarities and differences afterwards. Knowledge. What your attitude does? Your attitude organize the information. Bad, good. Your attitude organize. Not only that, your attitude has utilitarian thing. You have maximizing and also minimizing the things. You maximize those things which give reward. You minimize those things which give you pain, which punishment. How this can happen? This is because of your attitude. In the same way, ego defense. Ego defense is nothing but self-protection. Sorry, protection of self-esteem. Protection of self-esteem. The same as ego defense. Externalization, which we studied with respect to Smith. Next is value expression function. Express self-concept and central values. Mahatma Gandhi was wearing a dhoti and lungi, and like almost with minimal clothes. What does this express? It expresses the concept of his central values for which he is giving. Another example, think that I am a very rich person, but I am coming to office in bicycle. I'm coming to office in bicycle. So what does this mean? This means I am expressing my central values, my self-concept that I care for environment, I care for my health. So very simple. This question has not been asked, and I suppose the chances of you getting are not that high because this type of questions they have not asked in ethics. But you may get because this is there already in syllabus. They have explicitly mentioned functions of attitude, right? So now tell me, among these two, which are similar? Object appraisal, social adjustment, externalization, knowledge, utility, ego defense, value expression. In this, which are similar? Okay, I'll give you one more chance. See here, let's go through object appraisal. Means appraising the object, beneficial or harmful. Social adjustment. This is with respect to people, the same thing. Externalization. It is defending yourself against the internal conflict. Knowledge, utilitarian, ego defense, self-esteem protection, value expression. So now tell me.
Externalization and ego defense are somewhat similar.
Very good. Very good. Then see here object appraisal, social adjustment. So here can we relate this to with this two? To a greater extent we can do. So object appraisal here is directly related to knowledge and utility. The students here, if they ask, write about the functions of attitude. Number one, what you have to write is functions of the attitude refers to the psychological needs fulfilled by the attitude. Then to explain these two like thinkers. Along with that, you also do add the first slide where we discussed about like simplifying the decision making, all other rest of the aspects, right? Let me just give you those things again. So here, classification, simplification of the decision, energy saving. Here, don't just behead the thing. You go and internalize and think it it over how they are classifying the objects. See, the whole thing which we have discussed are the same. This is the nutshell of the things. See here, object appraisal, all these things, these are nothing but these things. So these are the functions of attitude. Functions of the attitude means the needs fulfilled by the right. Next, yesterday we left with some case studies. Dear students, a very important thing. This is all about your attitude, approach, and problem solving. It is not about how lengthy you are writing. So, in this regard, you have to show your attitude and approach not only in case studies, in all the things. Here, for that, you have to decide and you have to bifurcate the things. In every question, there will be important thing which you have to implement. That is, one may be testing your attitude and approach to a greater extent. Another may be testing your problem solving to a greater extent. But there will be both the components in the question. In some question, there may not be. There may be only problem solving, only attitude testing. So when you identify what they are testing, your like answer writing becomes very easy, right? So in this direction, you have to show your attitude, approach, and also problem solving thing. You have to solve the problem, right? So in UPSC here, one important thing with respect to the thing here is mainly don't go to the when you are solving the previous year questions, don't directly go and directly stick to what is there. Here, definitely it's a case where see all you give answers, but in none of this answer you made a point to like solve one important thing, that is like sexual harassment. Major thing is here your subordinate is doing something wrong. Your subordinate is doing something wrong. In that time, what we will do? What are the things we will take into consideration? That is one point. And another thing is you are making a mistake here. You have heard that Mr. A is making loose comment. This also you have to take into consideration. Otherwise, like if you are taking this for granted, means already like you are showing your attitude there, your ethical standards. Similarly, this one here, as I told you, always have to remember what is your place there. Whenever you are given a big place, you have to act like that. You have to show your decision making. You have to show your delegation. A collector should not act as a clerk. Right? Um, this we have discussed. Let us discuss one more case study, and I will give a very important aspect with respect to those things. Yeah. You are a non-nonsense, honest officer. You have been transferred to a remote district as a head of the department. You are head of the department, not a clerk. That is notorious for its inefficiency and carelessness. You find main reason for the poor state of affairs is the indiscipline of a section of employees. So, what is the main reason for inefficiency and carelessness? The main reason is poor state of affairs, indiscipline of a section, not all, a section. Means here one more point. What is that? You have to say for example, this is the total population. Only a section are making nonsense. Whenever you are addressing, you should also take into consideration this larger part. Just don't concentrate on this section itself. In your answer, see, it's a case majorly. Okay, let me complete the question. Afterwards, I'll ask the question. A section of the employees. They do not work themselves, so disrupt the working of the others. You first warn the troublemakers to mend their ways or else face disciplinary action. When the warning had little effect, you issued a show cause notice. Means you are taking the things in a very, very like logical way. Means you are following the order, due process. When okay, when they would not face disciplinary action, whether about okay, this was the explanation. Okay. So you have issued a show cause notice to the ringleaders. As a retaliatory measure, these troublemakers instigated a woman employee against them to file a complaint of sexual harassment against you with the Women's Commission. The Commission promptly seeks your explanation. The matter is also publicized in the media to endorse you further. Yes, students, here, so I think you got the thing. You are a new officer, you have entered the office, but you notice that there are some people who are indisciplined, they are disturbing the thing. There is a lot of inefficiency. When you sent a show cause notice to the ringleader, they instigated a woman employee as a retaliatory measure. And they have also given complaint to Women Commission. And also they attached this publicized in newspaper. Dear students, according to you, is this case study more of a problem solving thing or is more of a ethics and integrity or attitude kind of thing? What is the major prominent one? Definitely both are there. Which is the major one? Is it problem solving or attitude testing? Dear students, it is more of a problem solving one, right? So this is more of a problem solving one. Here, what is the problem? Your subordinates are not working properly. When you try to solve that problem, they have created some hurdles. How will you overcome? So, what is the answer? Anyone? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then fine. I thought. So, what will you do?
First, if the commission is asking us on the inquiry of the complaint that is given against us, we need to explain them that I had taken an action like this for so and so reason. That is why they have done something like this.
Okay, very good. How will you solve this one?
So further, the commission will have to inquire, and they will come to a conclusion. We can only put up the facts in front of them.
Okay, okay, good. But here is one more important thing. You have to show your leadership quality. It's not something like with your equals. They are your subordinates. And also here you are in the correct stage. You are correct, in fact. These are mischievous people. You have to show your leadership. You have to
Yes,
show
sir.
your courage. Please.
Sir, in this matter, since women employee is at the other end, even though she has given a false complaint, the dignity of the women also matters. So, what I will do is that maybe I will give her a clear message to withdraw the false complaint, and if she withdraws her allegation and offers an apology, then I will promise her to close the matter from my end. And if she does not agree, the right approach is to face the commission and carry out the disciplinary action in accordance with the law.
Okay, very good. Any other?
Then sir, since I'm working as officer, then I will most likely inform about my senior officers about the activities in my department. So and even this matter will also be informed. I might inform them to my seniors, and they could rightly give me a advice on this issue, since they might also have experienced such issues. So they
Okay.
could give me a very okay. So
Any
then
other?
also. Since, sir, as a government officer, sir, I cannot ignore this commission, sir. So, and since this commission is set up to give justice, I can keep my faith in this commission to give me this justice, since I am clear in my side, sir. And this is a very false complaint. And I'm very sure that at the end of that investigation, then I will be proved innocent. And other thing is that um, these are all the things that I could think of as of now, sir.
Okay. Any other one?
No, sir.
Others? So, dear students, this is a very, very important one. And I expect a question like this in future also. Here, please understand here, it's not about a sexual harassment. See, in all these questions, you are the team leader, you are the superior. Someone gave you complaint or someone resigned because there was something wrong, right? So now you take the situation same. So you forget this complaint, all these things. Sumoto, you have tried to correct some mistake which is happening. So you, say for example, you are the boss. You, like as it is given in previous case study, from many corners you heard that a group of boys are making loose comments. If you try to mend them, they have reversed. Are you getting me? So this is a case where when some miscreants, when you try to discipline some miscreants, when you try to discipline some miscreants who are creating trouble, who are not working, they somehow use other methods to counter this. In this scenario, what will you do? For this, you should have a framework. Not only for that, when your senior people are doing that, when you are in the hierarchy, your seniors are also doing what you will do. So I want you to think it over. Again, tomorrow I will take up this question. My question is what you will do when your subordinates who are miscreants, who are who are the troublemakers, when you try to tame them, they backfire you. In this scenario, what will you do? If you have this basic structure, you can answer any question. See, in all these cases, many of you often think that this is a case of sexual harassment. No, it is not, in fact, precisely about that. It is about when your subordinate is involved in something wrong. When your subordinate is doing something wrong, what will you do? This is the extension of the same question, right? I'll take up this question again. I want to discuss in depth this one. Okay. Next, here I ask you one important thing. These are three. These are the main items which you can see in the question. What are these? So here, this is all about corruption, bribery, or when the things are going wrong. When someone offers you bribe, what you will do? You may be senior, junior, from your family. When you come to know that when someone is corrupt, what will you do? What are the options? Here, I'll give you one important thing. It is left to you how you write the thing. Whenever you are an officer, whenever someone offers you bribe, please be very careful. Depending upon the case study, you have to say receiving the bribe is not the option. Receiving the bribe is not the option. Say, for example, someone has to give you some money. Is killing that person is an option? If you think that killing that person is an option, it shows your attitude towards that one, right? In this regard, I have taken one important example case study, which is given by the UPSC itself as a sample question. A very simple one, but it's very, very important. It has to be like the basic structure. I just want to develop the thought process in you, the problem solving thing in you. I want to show like how to show your attitude. After like another 1 or 2 class, I'll give a structure. Like I have analyzed all the previous year questions. There are many types of questions. I'll analyze that. See here, you have been grown up with X, who has been your best friend since childhood. Since childhood, he is your best friend. You have shared your joys, sorrows, and have been each other's confidant. See here, don't give much to these traps. Both of you are in your final year. See, once again, final year, not even first year. Final year of graduation and writing your final exam again. See how they are making the things very, very tough for you. You are not in first year, you are not in first semester, and also year, final exam. In the exam, you notice that your friend is copying and cheating a lot. What would you do and why? Dear student, here, however you think, this is one of the most trickiest. See here, see the difficulties. Everything they have given means here, this is the case when a person from your primary relations and a person from your private relations, when almost like from your family. What you will do when your brother is doing something corruption? The same here. What you will do when you come to know that your father is taking bribe, your brother is taking bribe? Here, they have still made this difficult. He is his best friend since childhood. You have been like for him. And also once again, final year. If you just do anything, something extra, his whole life may be lost. In this situation, what will the students here, as I told you, after like going through uh, like many books, what I finalize writing here is first of all mention, not elaborately. I am a person known for integrity. Generally, I won't have friends who will be involved in corruption, copying, or something like that. My best friend, never. Generally, I won't have friendship or I won't make friendship with this kind of people. Number one. So here you are showing your attitude, means you are a person of integrity. Number two, even then, somehow by chance, if any of my friends thinks of copying, if they come to know that I am in the classroom, I am in the same classroom, then you would have not copied. You would have not copied. You would have not copied. First thing is, generally I won't be having friends like this. Second is, even if they are there due to some circumstance or something like that, even if they are copying, if they come to know that I am in the class, definitely they won't do this. Third thing is, even then, if they are doing because of something or anything like that, here two important things once again. Don't only think about that individual who is copying. You are also in the examination. You are also in the final year. And also there are many other students who are writing. So instead of whenever you see that person copying, the thing is here you are also writing. He is also writing. So after the examination, go and inform the appropriate authority that this person is. Not only that, you shouldn't stop there. Afterwards, any problem your friend faces or anything like that, you should support it. Right? So I'm giving two homeworks for you, the previous one and this one. This I want to hear from you how you will solve this one. When your best friend is copying, what will you do? We'll take up this question again. Any doubt, dear students, with respect to the things which we have discussed?